So then he proceeds to bring out the most beautiful piece I have ever seen in my life. Why? Hi guys, welcome back to Miniatures with Liz. It's been a while since I have uploaded one. I know, it's been like 6 months since my last one. I'm sorry. I hit a few roadblocks in the last few months that just kind of halted all of this for like a tiny bit. I plan on talking about this in another video where I just kind of catch you guys all up on the life events that have been happening in the past few months. But long story short, the reason why I had to take a little break was just because we moved recently and it was a very abrupt event because the landlord had to sell his house. So then we had to get out of there. And so I felt like I had to get into the headspace of trying to figure out the logistics of the move with my fiance. So that took up a lot of our time. And then we also had to downsize because we moved into an apartment. So then that meant I had a lot less space. I ended up donating some of my miniatures to make more space. So because of that, I felt very hesitant to buy any other miniature until I was absolutely sure I wanted it and that we had the space for it. So we needed to like get settled in, make it our home, and then I could start decorating again. We're there now. We love our place, love the location we live at, and very happy. So I am back with a new miniature then because I found this amazing piece while on Facebook Marketplace when I wasn't even looking, you know, like those cheesy little like love story plots where they're like, I found the love of my life when I wasn't even looking for a relationship. That's what it was. I went on Facebook Marketplace, planned on just finding my post that I put on there for like a chair and duplicating that for Craigslist. But then like this post for the miniature like caught my eye, like wasn't even looking, and I clicked on it and I was like, that's really cheap for that kind of detail. I need to have it. So then I reached out to the seller. We made plans. I went over to his house, got the cash in hand, ready to buy this miniature. He has it out displayed. It's gorgeous. I did not know the scale. I tried to Google the scale of it. Nothing. So I was very happy that it was like a really good scale, and it was just like just as impressive in person, if not more. And then he asks me, hey, did you see my other miniature that I posted? And I swear, I sighed really deeply and I'm like, do I want to? Do I want to see another miniature that I was not planning on buying, that I did not allocate enough space for in my home? Why? So then he proceeds to bring out the most beautiful piece I have ever seen in my life. Here are some like quick little videos that I took of myself just in awe of the pieces. Look at how cute this is. Oh my god. Oh my god, he just brought out more. These are so cute. Oh my god, look at that little restaurant. He just put them all together. This is so pretty. So yeah, you see yourself that they have the same scenery, the same designs, the same detail, the same artistry. It's the same brand. So I felt like if I didn't buy it, I would be like leaving a sibling behind or something. So I had to get it. So I was like, okay, Jeff, just hold on for a second. I'm gonna run to the bank again and go get more money, and then I'll come back and I'll buy both of them because I can't leave one behind. Thankfully, it was the same price for the second one, $35. I felt like it could be priced higher for the second one because the second one looked so much bigger and that there was so much more detail to it, but I'm not gonna argue a good price, so I left it at that. When I came back though, he was like, how about birdhouses? You like birdhouses? I'm like, Jeff, you need to calm down. Okay, you got one extra purchase from me today. I'm not about to buy 4 things from you when I came here to buy 1, okay? But they were birdhouses that he made himself, and he made them to be modern renditions of birdhouses, so they look like houses from like Parasite or Ex Machina. Like, it was so pretty. thank God I am not into birdhouses because I would totally buy them. This is me looking at them on the table that he already displayed for me when I came back. He knew I was a sucker. I would have bought them if I had the money, but I just bought the 2 miniatures and I'm very happy with them. And I'm so excited to show you guys what they look like and talk about them because they are so much different than any other miniature I've reviewed. So hopefully you guys will like them as much as I do because they're pretty cool. All right, let's get into them. So this is the piece that I originally was going there to buy. Both pieces are from a company called Danbury Mint. I've never heard of that company before in my life. As you probably know from my other videos, I mainly go for Department 56 miniatures and sometimes dabble in like Carrolltown ones. But I've never heard of Danbury Mint before. So I was surprised that this existed. I thought I had learned about all the other miniature brands, but I guess not. I looked them up and tried to see if they had any other miniatures, you know, any kind of history about them. All I could find was a website of theirs that said that they were like a world leader of jewelry, coins, and collectibles. But when I looked up the collectibles, they didn't have any miniatures in their website. So maybe it's like a thing of the past kind of situation. So doesn't seem like they have any current miniatures. So if you were interested in buying these, I think you just have to go through Facebook Marketplace or eBay. So for these pieces, they do come in like these separate areas and they fit together like a puzzle. That kind of made transporting it home a little bit difficult and scary because there wasn't like a box that it came in. So I just kind of had to put them in my back seat and just carefully drive home and hope I didn't go over too many speed bumps or potholes. They made it back totally fine though. But yeah, surprisingly, very difficult for me to remember how the pieces go together. You would think that it's easy because it's such distinct edges that you'd be like, yeah, this should go here and that there, but not this brain, apparently. I don't know why I struggle so much with that, but I will eventually learn how this town is put together. It'll probably just be easier if I just focus on like the rock formations on the edges and know that that's the perimeter and then just kind of smush them together. All right, let me go ahead and give you a tour of the town. There's so many details in this piece. I'm telling you, if I could open a museum for everybody to come see these pieces in person, I would. But obviously I can't. So we're just gonna have to try our best with this video. And I'll try to hit up all of the spots as best as I can and hope I don't leave anything out. So to make things easier, I thought I would just break it up into categories for the tour. So the first category is going to be the buildings. And then the second category is going to be the landscape. And then the third category is going to be the townsfolk. So I feel like that'll make it a bit easier and more efficient, and I feel like I can like keep track of all of the spots that I want to hit up and not get sidetracked while I'm talking about one thing and then I'm like, oh, there's a person in the front. Let's give them a life story. So I think this will be a lot better for the video and for you guys that are watching. So yeah, let me show you what this town has and all the cute little details, and hopefully you fall in love with it as much as I did. Okay, the first building we'll be looking at is called Harbor Boat Repairs. As we can see, we already have 2 boats lined up waiting to be fixed. Everybody also loves the owner. They say that he's super kind and has the best deals in town. In front of the boat shop, there are 2 fuel stations conveniently placed with the boats docked right there, and they can be fueled while the, what is it called? The boat owner goes to grab a bite to eat next door. Now speaking of the bite, we'll move on to the next building, which is the restaurant. So this is called the Lobster Shack. Very cute eatery, has adorable outdoor dining with cute tablecloths, people on dates, whether it's a lunch date or a dinner date. Don't know what time of day it is. It also has a sandwich board outside that is totally legible. And again, just like the boat repair shop, fair prices. So good town so far. And then next to the Lobster Shack, a little bit to the back, is a gazebo. Ideal for cute dates. You already see a couple in there canoodling. and is always clear of any kind of cobwebs or spiders, so you are safe to sit in there without anything crawling on you. And then next to the gazebo is a shop that maybe sells anchors, maybe not, but it's called Chandler's. It looks quite large for it to only sell anchors, but who knows? People have niches. I've got mine with miniatures. Maybe Chandler has his with anchors. I believe that the upstairs portion of this building might be where the owner lives, or else it's a really big store for anchors, so who knows? It's brand new. They just moved in, so we have yet to see what they have in store for us. In front of Chandler's, we have Taylor's Tackle, which is a great shop for the fishermen nearby since it's right on the dock. They can get their fishing gear, their live bait, and they also do fishing trips, so that's really fun for the kids and the adults. Behind Taylor's Tackle, we have Captain's Tavern. Great pub food, has a cute little balcony patio area with flowers on the railing. Great chicken wings here, great burgers. Oh, and they also have great happy hour too. So, I sound like such a fucking dork. All right, now we're at the front of the miniature where we see this beautiful lighthouse. I might be biased because I love lighthouses, so I think they're all beautiful, but I do think this one is really cute. It has the red accents, the ladder at the top where the light is, and that little door in the back leading out to the water. Moving on, we'll go ahead and go over to the church. This church is open to all religions, all lifestyle choices, and hosts a really cute farmers market every Saturday. In front of the church, we have the Village Smokehouse, which has amazing barbecue. The smells coming from this place are so good. If I had to choose two places to go to in this town, it would be this place and the Lobster Shack. Last but not least, we have the Blue House on the Hill. This is where the mayor of the town lives. She's very giving, very caring, big philanthropist. She also apparently loves to garden, considering how many flowers are all around the house. I especially love the purple vines kind of climbing up on the side of the house. And then the blue color just gives this whole place a really nice, beachy, cool look to it. That concludes the buildings. Hope you guys like it. Let's go ahead and move on to the landscape. First up in the landscape category is going to be the water. So this is my favorite part of this category just because of the texture and the detail alone. I really love that you can see the ripples in the water, and then there's also the white accents where you can see the oars and the boat hit the water. So I feel like that level of planning and thought put into it is really cool. I also really love the deep blue color of it mixed in with the brown, which honestly I'm not really sure right now if that's just dirty or not, but in my head I'm gonna call it kelp and dirt, so let's go with that. Next is the boardwalk behind the water. It's adorned with light posts on the side, and then you got like the water and the boat's docked, so you can take this like designated path to go from shop to shop while also looking out into the water and assumingly the sunset. It just seems like a really nice vibe. And then all throughout the perimeter of this miniature, there's a lot of sandy, rocky formations. I think the rocks are really impressive because they look realistic, and I love how like random they look instead of uniform. On the left side here of the water, opposite of the lighthouse, we have a bit more sand with some boats docked on the shore, but we do still see the rocky formation going around the side of the miniature, and it kind of transforms into like cliffs along the sides of the building. And then here are some extra shots of the little cliff-like areas where people can have a little overlook into whatever land or water is over there. I appreciate all of these little like roads that the townsfolk could be, wandering about. They look like they're just like made of either cobblestone or gravel. Over on the other side, we actually have another gravel path that's a bit more wide and a bit more community-based. That other one was kind of over by like secluded to the village smokehouse, but this one is a bit more common ground where it feels like it's like an actual trail for the townsfolk. So you'll see that they are just walking up along here, and there's like a nice stony like cliffside, I guess is what you would call, and then more rock formations and sand. So that's pretty cute. If we just go back to the buildings real quick, something I just noticed, I really appreciate this building and the detail of it being like elevated from sea level. So I think that's a really cute little design where you can kind of see that 3D aspect of it, and I don't know what I'm saying. I just think it's cute. And then throughout the town, you'll see various colors of trees. We have red, we have green. It seems like we're going into the fall season here. And then we also see some very cute flowers, cute bushes, just dawned all across town. It makes it a very cute floral vibe throughout the village. There's also these little paths for the townsfolk to walk through, along with the little lampposts that I think are really cute. So there's one right there along the dock. It just goes all around and then up to the restaurants nearby. But then there's also one up here behind the lobster shack leading up to the church and then away from the church. I think that's super cool because I like the elevation of it, and it just makes it feel even more realistic that it's like, yeah, there's gonna be hills and there's gonna be elevation and people are gonna have to climb steps. So I think that's really pretty. I'm not used to this. This is like how people build platforms for their village, but this is already a pre-built platform for me. So it's really nice to be able to see this in action. So it's like a miniature village, which is crazy. But yeah, I think that's it for the landscape. Which part is your favorite? Mine is probably the rocky formations and the paths that they made for the townsfolk. I think that just like kind of makes it feel more lively and real, even though I know it's not. You probably don't think I know that, but I do. I know it's not real, but it just looks really cool. I appreciate all that detail and all the realistic features that they added to it. So let me know what you guys think is your favorite. In the meantime, let's go ahead and move on to the third category, which is also the final category, which are the townsfolk. All right, so these people are like telling a story. There's so much going on. This is honestly, so I don't sound weird as fuck, I probably won't go into depth about this because I could create a whole, canonical story about their lives. But if you look here, we have these people out in front of the boat repair store. And are they in an argument? I don't know. That man has his hand on his hip. Usually people only do that when they're upset. So they could be having an argument about prices, or they could just be chatting about the weather that day, because it's probably great weather in this perfect little town. There's some people here that are sitting on the beach area. One man has his arm up. Don't know why he's raising it. What I think is that he is trying to steal this guy in front, his boat, who is over here who is over here trying to pick him up, like an Uber situation. He's trying to just cut in line, He's just like, actually, me, I have more money. Please take me first. I need to get to wherever I need to get to faster than the guy in front of me. Drama, I know. I sound like such a fucking dork. And then we got these people. I think they're just trying to go for a swim, but they're gauging how dangerous the waters are because they look a bit intense with the waves. So they're probably just trying to make sure they're not risking their lives jumping in the water. Now this man, let me show you. This man is probably my favorite character in this town. Look how adorable that is, that he is drawing a painting of this lighthouse. Like, how cute is that? It's a miniature painting of a lighthouse. Adorable. The cutest fucking thing in this whole miniature. I love it. If I could be him, I would be him. just being on the beach and drawing lighthouses. That's cool. Behind him are some people fishing. This guy with like a yellow fishing rod and the red shirt, that just looks like a baguette to me. This lady seems so cool. I don't know what her story is. She seems like she's wearing a wedding dress and she's like waiting for somebody to come back. So hopefully her partner is okay and is able to get back to her. She seems really sad, and I hope she's not. So I guess if I'm making up these stories for these people, I'll just say she's enjoying the water and she wishes she had her swimsuit with her. So she's just, instead of swimming, she's just gonna enjoy the salty breeze and the sunset that she is watching right now. That statue's also cool though. I don't know what it is, but I appreciate them. I am impressed that they made that. There is, I'm gonna say a child. He looks like Gene from Bob's Burgers to me. I don't know why, but he does. So that's why I'm saying that he's a child running up the steps. And then back at the church, there is a priest along with the couple talking to the priest. Probably just chit-chatting about normal, just casual stuff. Probably not even anything about the church. They're just getting to know each other, you know? And then my last one is just a very random guy on the back side of the miniature, just like on the cliff path. I like him because he's just like, he's not in the forefront at all. So for the miniature makers to think of adding somebody back there, I really like it because it just makes it feel like they didn't just stop at what was front facing for the customer. They kind of made it all around, all encompassing, and it just makes it feel way more immersive, the fact that there's just this random person walking back there on his own. No relation to any story or building out here. But yeah, that's all the townsfolk. Everybody else is just kind of strolling around, so I felt like I didn't need to cover them, or else, like I said, I would sound a little crazy having all of these stories for them. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you guys, again, have a favorite townsfolk, let me know. Or if you wanted to create a story for them that was different from mine, that's totally cool too. Share that. I would love to hear that. Otherwise, we can go ahead and move on to the second miniature. And if you guys are still here, God bless you, because it feels like this is a long video. Oh no, it's falling apart. Hold on. I hope you guys enjoyed that miniature as much as I did. I honestly, now that I am looking at both of them, I think I was just in shock of this one because I hadn't seen it. I wasn't mentally prepared for it. So it was like a novelty item to me. It was just so brand new and it just shocked me. So that's why I was so much more in love with it. But honestly, I do think the one that I just showed you is a very fair contender against this one. I think they're both equally amazing and they have their own advantages to this made-up competition I put them in against each other. But anyways, now I'm unhyping this piece because that's what I do, because I feel like I overhype things and then I get nervous that you guys aren't gonna like it as much as me, but no, you guys will. This is good. So this is the second piece, the one that was sprung on me that I happily bought. This one is called Lighthouse Point. So what really attracted me was, I don't know if you can see it from this wide shot, but there's a ship right here. And I love ships. I used to have ships all around my apartment. I felt whether it was a miniature ship or I don't know, sketches of ships. Maybe I didn't and I'm just making this up. But I did really like ships. They were my background photo on some social media. So when I saw that, I was like, this is so cute. It's so detailed, and I'll show you in a little bit, obviously. But this piece is amazing. It also comes in 4 pieces like the other one, and they fit very well together. This one's a little bit easier to put together. The other one, for some reason, just like I said, confused the hell out of me. This one's a little bit easier. It's a little bit smaller. Again, I think I blacked out when he brought it out because like my assessment of it in the moment was not accurate because I thought this was bigger than the other one, which is why I thought this should have been priced higher, but it's actually smaller, I think, and like technically less detailed because there's less buildings and less, I don't know, there's like less elevation, there's less landscape. I don't know, I'm surprised, but it's still very cute, obviously. I love it. I'll do the same thing for this tour as well, where we're breaking it up into categories. So I'll do the buildings first, do the landscape second, and then do the people last. So hopefully that worked out for you when I did it like that. Give me any kind of feedback in the comments, please. I am new at this. I just want to talk about my miniatures, and if there is any way to make it easier and nicer for you guys to watch, I'd be happy to adjust and pivot. So let's go ahead and just hop right into the tour. All right, so this is Lighthouse Point. We will start by going to the buildings. Like I said, we can start with the lighthouse. So this lighthouse is a little bit different from the one in Fisherman's Cove, where it has a red stripe all around, where it also has this very cute bridge leading up to the lighthouse where a man is already there, I think waving to somebody. We'll get back to him. Then there is a house that the bridge leads to, which might honestly be where the lightkeeper stays. And then behind the lighthouse, you have the boardwalk shops. So let's go ahead and look into those shops. All right, the first shop that we got on the boardwalk is one that says sundries. And if you don't know, sundries just means miscellaneous items. So maybe it's like a general store in a sense. And then next to that are a couple of carnival games. So we got win a prize, 25 cents for 3 throws, and then a target range. And then as we walk further down the boardwalk, we get these adorable 3 shops. The first one is called the Seaside Grill. Seems like they have great food. Ooh, they have like a little awning and an open window, so that's always nice. You get the little salty breeze from the ocean coming through, and then the smell of the kitchen coming out. That's very cool. And then I don't know if you guys can see, this is the cutest part of this miniature, is these little like smokestacks. Is that what it's called? But like the smoke coming out of the chimney. So cute. It's like made of some kind of wiring or metal. I love the spirals. I love the, I guess like the movement of them. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. The detail in these miniatures, crazy. Next one is gonna be fortunes and palm reading. I like the painting on that, like the colors on that shop. I feel like normally, you know, fortune places or palm reading places are a bit more, you know, purple themed, I guess. And this is a bit more bright pastel, but maybe that's just to fit in with the nautical theme. At first, I thought it was like a pet store because I thought the shape of the sign for fortunes was like a bone. So my bad, that's not it. And then the one next to that is a fudge and saltwater taffy store. I've personally never had saltwater taffy. Do you guys like it? I don't know anything about it. I know what it looks like, but I don't really know if like the taste of it. Is it salty or is it like salty and sweet? Am I crazy for never having saltwater taffy? People thought I was crazy when my work colleagues found out that I never had pie. So behind those shops is a very tall tower, lots of stairs. You might get dizzy going up them, but you get this great view at the top. It's a little bit crowded up there and small, but hopefully people wait their turn and don't fight, because you could easily throw somebody off at that tower. There are no railings at the top of that. So, and the holes at the top of that tower are kind of person-shaped holes, you know? So be careful. And then to the right of that tower, there is this building that I'm not really sure what it is. It looks like a country club building. There's like a flag with a crest on it. I don't know enough about buildings that have crests on them. So if you guys know what this building is, let me know. And then I'll know. And then next to that unknown building is this cute little restaurant where it has like a couple on the balcony or like the outdoor dining area looking out. Seems very romantic, and it seems like they would have good lunch too, just based off of those umbrellas. But I like the cottage vibe of this restaurant. I love restaurants that seem like they're in houses, even though I feel like it might be a little awkward because it feels like you're a guest in someone's house, but it just has a cozy vibe, obviously, and it feels like I'm in like a TV show or something, somewhere really quaint that doesn't actually exist in the real world. All right, moving down to the dock, we have a boat rental building here. They painted a very cute green. They also have a fuel station at the front, just like in the Fisherman's Cove. So that's nice for this boat here. That can just like park right up next to it and fuel up. And then if we want to call a ship a building, we can talk about the ship. Look how cool it is. Like, I love the sails, like especially the white one up at the front, the really big one. They even have the little cabin there, and then the little boats, like little rafts inside the ship. I love the netting on the side as well. That's really pretty. But yeah, that is all of the buildings. Let's go ahead and move on to the landscape. So this will be quick. The landscape is, as you'd expect, pretty similar to the one in Fisherman's Cove because it's the same brand, essentially the same world as Fisherman's Cove. So you'll see here that just like the other piece, it has the cool textured water, pretty blue with some white accents, and then it also has some rock formations on the side, as well as like a beachy area. In addition to that, it also has the dock, as well as the little like pier area for the townsfolk to walk around. It has some elevation levels as well, and some more walkways for the townsfolk to get to the restaurants. And then, like you saw in the beginning from the buildings, it also has a boardwalk for the townsfolk. This one has a much more prominent beach area, so you get to see a lot more activities from the townsfolk. So with that, we'll go ahead and segue into the townsfolk and see what they're up to. Starting with the beach, you see there's a lifeguard. You see plenty of people on the sand. The coolest part to me is the people in the water. Like, I've never seen that in miniatures where like there's people in the water, you know? So it looks like they're doing like water aerobics. So that's really cool. Getting their workout early in the morning before they just go shopping. What a life, right? Just oof, retirement, right? And then if you look along the pier at the people, they are just having a grand old time. You know, kind of feeling like BioShock Infinite without the racism, right? Yeah. And then down here by the boat rentals, you'll see a hot dog vendor. Some kids really wanting a hot dog. Oh, one kid, sorry. The other one I think is a parent. Both probably want a hot dog. You see this man here on the dock just either marching or stretching. Either way, he's getting those steps in. And then last but not least, one of my favorite characters is this man that's just like leaning on the side of the cliff. And honestly, because of how he is right now, it looks like he's leaning on his head. So I'm like, are you okay? Like, did you pass out on the cliff? Do you have a concussion? Like, I hope he's okay. Because like, it's obviously him trying to stretch. But man, kind of looks like he's not doing so good. So, oh, one last one before we end this. There's also this man out by the rocks by the lighthouse and the ship. I don't know what he has on him. I don't know if it's a camera. I don't know if it's a fishing rod that broke, but it kind of looks like a bazooka gun or something. Or like, you know, like a cannon. I don't know. Which it would be fitting for the ship. But I don't know what that man's doing. It's a little suspicious. But yeah, mystery man is cool to me because he's a mystery man. All right. Well, I think that concludes the video. Thank you so much for staying. I don't know how to transition into the outro, so we're just gonna go right into it. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys had fun. I hope I didn't overhype the miniature too much. If you guys had a favorite area, like the buildings or the landscapes or the people, please comment them down below. I would love to read through that. Otherwise, I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and I always forget to say this, and I never want to say it because it's always really awkward, but if you guys enjoyed my content, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And that's it. Thanks.